Baby Yoda. Oh, he's everyone's favorite new character from The Mandalorian.
And everyone is obsessing over Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda is going to finally bring us together. Maybe Baby Yoda could be president of the United States, you know?
Baby Yoda has clearly captured our hearts, but soon he'll capture our wallets in what most people don't realize is a carefully calculated plan from Disney to hack our brains into loving Baby Yoda the same way that Pokemon got us to love Pikachu, buy Pikachu merch, and yes, even get a Pikachu face tattoo. Because you know you've built a hell of a brand when people are voluntarily getting face tattoos like this one. And seeing as how people are already getting Baby Yoda tattoos, I couldn't help but wonder, how did Disney make us so obsessed over Baby Yoda in 3 months when it took Pokemon years to do the same with Pikachu? Because make no mistake about it, Disney has a master plan behind all of this. So on today's episode of Admazing, we're actually going to talk about the 3 lessons we can learn from the way that Disney created and promoted Baby Yoda for the launch of The Mandalorian on Disney+. Lesson 1. Follow the baby schema. For years we've been told that sex sells, but Disney knows that there's something that sells even better than sex. And to find out what that is, just look at how Disney princesses have evolved over the years. In the beginning, Disney drew princesses like Cinderella to resemble real people with similar head to body proportions. But over the years, something interesting happened. You see, Disney started drawing their princesses to have bigger heads compared to their bodies. Then Disney started making their eyes bigger compared to their heads, to the point where you have Elsa, who is supposed to be 22 years old, yet has the body proportions of a baby. And that's because Disney knows exactly what they're doing here. They're getting closer and closer to perfecting science's definition of cuteness. Yes, there's a scientific definition of cuteness. It's known as a baby schema, and is a face with big eyes, tiny chin, puffy cheeks, and a big head. And when humans see a face that checks all those boxes, research from Oxford University shows that our brains get hijacked into making us want to go out of our way to seek out that cuteness, to hold it, and to want to bring it home with us. In fact, another experiment showed that this baby schema was so powerful that it tricked certain animals to leave their own babies behind. I'm not kidding. You see, geese would abandon their own eggs when scientists placed volleyballs in front of them because these volleyballs enhance the natural features of the eggs by being puffier and rounder. So I guess what I'm saying, in Hollywood, we're kind of like the geese, and Disney is distracting us with more and more volleyballs. Disney discovered that cuteness sells even better than sex, and they figured out how to scheme us by using the baby schema as a way to get people from all around the world to seek out Disney's cute characters in the form of merchandise and movie tickets. So when Disney bought Star Wars, they did what they do best. They inserted more cuteness into the galaxy far, far away. And that cuteness took the form of Baby Yoda. You see, Baby Yoda's eyes, head size, and proportions are all engineered to fit the baby schema perfectly, and therefore hijack our perception and make us drawn to him. The only other franchise to market cuteness as well as Disney has been Pokemon. Think about it. Jigglypuff, Eevee, Pikachu, and so many other Pokemon fit the baby schema perfectly, with their big eyes, tiny chins, puffy cheeks, and large heads. So it's no wonder that these cute critters made Pokemon one of the world's most profitable media companies, with a mind-boggling $90 billion in revenue from their video games, TV shows, merch, and recently the Detective Pikachu movie. In fact, researcher Joel Froelich said that Pikachu so perfectly matched the scientific definition of cuteness that Pikachu is kind of like this chocolate milkshake for your brain. Well, Joel, if Pikachu is like a chocolate milkshake, then I gotta say Baby Yoda is like a McFlurry with extra sprinkles, M&Ms, crushed Oreos, and a tub of caramel on top, because people can't get enough of him. But you see, engineering a scientifically cute character was just the tip of Disney's iceberg, which brings me to lesson 2. Let the audience pick the puppy. Alright, so imagine for a second you're a kid again, and one day your dad comes home and says you could get that puppy that you've always wanted. Would you rather go to the kennel and pick out that puppy for yourself, or just let your dad decide and let him bring home a puppy that maybe you're not as jazzed about? Chances are you're going to prefer that first situation. I mean, don't get me wrong, a puppy's a puppy. But there's something about discovering and finding your own that makes them even more irresistible. And that's exactly what Disney did with Baby Yoda. They let us discover him. And they did this by not revealing Baby Yoda until the final moments of the first episode. And just like finding our own puppy, we were also able to name him. While the show just calls this green creature the child, we, the audience, gave him the name Baby Yoda.
There's no name for the Yoda species, and so I think the easiest, shortest, most hashtagable way to identify that character, which is identified as in the episode known as the child, is Baby Yoda.
And to Disney's credit, it wasn't cheap to keep Baby Yoda a surprise for us to discover him like this. After all, that meant Disney couldn't start manufacturing or marketing Baby Yoda toys, dolls, and t-shirts in time for the holidays, which analysts predicted lost them $2.7 million in potential sales. But I think those short-term losses are worth the much bigger long-term gains that will come when fans engage more with Baby Yoda over the years. And in fact, it's even more important to take a look at what happened when Disney tried to promote a cute character before a different Star Wars premiere, this time for The Last Jedi. You see, Disney marketed these adorable little animals called porgs. They were basically a mix of two of the cutest things in the world, puppies and penguins. And Disney put them everywhere, posters, trailers, plush dolls, before the movie even premiered. Now, on one hand, scientifically, porgs still check the boxes of the baby schema with big eyes, big head, puffy cheeks, and a small chin. But because they were so heavily promoted, people just thought porgs were yet another marketing and merchandising attempt by the greedy Mickey Mouse to squeeze every living dollar out of the Star Wars franchise. And they didn't have the best reception as a result. And there's a chance that same backlash would have happened if Disney shoved Baby Yoda into every single marketing bit for The Mandalorian. Sure, people would have still thought Baby Yoda was cute, but would he have become the national phenomenon and fan favorite that he is today? I don't think so. So net-net, because Baby Yoda was scientifically cute but not promoted, he became a fan favorite. And going back to Pokemon for a second, this is exactly the same playbook that they used to make Pikachu so beloved. If you remember, Pokemon started with 3 Game Boy games in 1996, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green for the Japanese market. And people forget because Pikachu was not initially included in any of Pokemon's marketing or merch. Does that sound familiar? And it wasn't until people actually played the video game that they fell in love with Pikachu, and then Pokemon decided to make him the face of the franchise by featuring him in the TV show, merchandise, and ultimately a special yellow Pikachu edition of the video game. So like Baby Yoda, because Pikachu was scientifically cute but not promoted, he became a fan favorite. And they were the puppies we chose. Not the puppies that were forced upon us. I also found it interesting on a side note that Pikachu and Baby Yoda also serve identical roles in their TV shows. They're both the cute little sidekicks who barely speak, yet provide comedic moments to their much more serious counterparts, Ash Ketchum in Pokemon and Mando in The Mandalorian. So it looks like Disney is copying Pokemon's blueprint in more ways than one. But you see, Pokemon is not the only company that Disney drew inspiration from, which brings us to our next lesson. Copy Netflix's meme playbook. Netflix is famous for letting fans turn their movies and shows into memes. Look no further than how Netflix marketed their film Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock. That movie got a record-breaking 45 million views in its first week thanks in part to the Bird Box challenge going viral on social media. The challenge was stupidly simple. Do something wearing a blindfold since Sandra Bullock's character wore a blindfold throughout the movie. And this led to people doing all sorts of crazy things like wakeboarding with blindfolds on. And Netflix fanned the flame by sending blindfolds to prominent gamers and influencers. And it got so out of hand to the point where Netflix then had to issue another post about how people should stop doing the Bird Box challenge because they were getting into car accidents because they were driving with blindfolds on. Point being, as long as you don't hurt yourself, Netflix loves when you meme their content because it's just a form of free marketing to them. So it's only natural for Disney Plus to copy that strategy with Baby Yoda. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that Disney shot several scenes in the Mandalorian show with the exact intention of them becoming a meme. Like this image of Baby Yoda sipping tea, which is so similar to the popular Kermit the Frog meme of him sipping tea. I mean, either this was a crazy coincidence or it was planned, since Disney happens to own the rights to both of these green fuzzy animals who seem to love sipping hot beverages. And you know what? it worked. People started sharing Baby Yoda memes so much that Baby Yoda overtook the Mandalorian as the most popular search term on Google. The red line here shows the search interest in the Mandalorian, while the blue line shows the search interest in the term Baby Yoda, which took over after the show aired in mid-November. And that search interest gave Disney Plus even more momentum. In fact, before Baby Yoda became a surprise sensation, banking analysts forecasted that Disney Plus would only get 35 million subscribers in 2020. But after Baby Yoda became a hit, they adjusted those numbers to predict that Disney Plus would gain 39 million, a whopping 4 million subscribers more, just because that tiny green thing captured our hearts and again, soon our wallets. Of course, Disney Plus is still far behind Netflix's 158 million subscribers, but it's fascinating to see how Disney is trying to steal Netflix's Playbook in order to beat them. So given all of that, I have a question for you. How would you rate Disney's marketing of The Mandalorian? Was it amazing? Was it atrocious? Just kind of adequate? Comment below and I'll make sure to reply to every single person that I can. Personally, and I know it's pretty hard on Disney during our last video where I compared them to Harry Potter, but when it comes to Baby Yoda, I have no choice but to give them a rating of Admazing. Whoa, we're not done yet. If you like this video, I think you'll love this one that YouTube helped me pick out just for you. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that button, subscribe, ring the bell, because you won't want to miss next week's episode. I'll see you then.